What happens when a man mocks Elon Musk's idea in public? The shocking truth will leave you speechless. Before we jump into the story, don't forget to hit the like button, drop a comment letting me know where you're watching from, and stay tuned to see how this story unfolds. The aroma of freshly brewed coffee mingled with the hum of conversation, filling the bustling coffee shop with a lively atmosphere. Amidst the sea of laptops and steaming mugs, a man in jeans and a well-worn t-shirt hunched over a table, his hands moving swiftly across a napkin. To the casual observer, he was just another patron, but this unassuming figure was none other than Elon Musk. At a nearby table, a group of friends engaged in an animated discussion about innovation. Their voices rose and fell, punctuated by bursts of laughter and occasional disagreement. Elon's ears perked up, his attention drawn away from his sketches. The passion in their voices resonated with him, pulling him in like a magnet. Unable to resist, Elon stood up and casually approached the group. "Mind if I join you?" he asked with a friendly smile. The friends, caught up in their debate, welcomed him without a second thought. As Elon settled into an empty chair, he listened intently, his mind racing with ideas. During a lull in the conversation, Elon seized the moment. "What if I told you that solar-powered flying taxis could revolutionize urban transportation?" he said, his eyes sparkling with excitement. The table fell silent, processing this stranger's audacious claim. Looks of confusion, disbelief, and curiosity flashed across their faces. One man in the group, a skeptic with a furrowed brow, burst into laughter. "That's ridiculous sci-fi nonsense," he scoffed, shaking his head. "We can barely manage electric cars, let alone flying taxis powered by the sun." A few others at the table nervously chuckled, unsure how to react to this bold stranger and his outlandish idea. Elon's response was unexpected. Instead of becoming defensive or backing down, a calm smile spread across his face. His posture relaxed and he leaned forward slightly, ready to defend his vision. There was no trace of anger or frustration in his demeanor, only a quiet confidence and an eagerness to share his thoughts. The atmosphere at the table shifted. The initial skepticism gave way to curiosity as the group sensed there was more to this stranger than met the eye. They found themselves drawn in by his composure and the conviction behind his words. Even the skeptic, despite his initial dismissal, couldn't help but feel a twinge of interest. As Elon prepared to explain his idea further, the coffee shop seemed to fade into the background. The group leaned in, their attention fully focused on this mysterious man with the revolutionary concept. Little did they know they were about to embark on a mind-bending journey that would challenge their perceptions and ignite their imaginations. The skeptic's laughter still echoed in their ears, but something in Elon's calm demeanor made them lean in closer. He wasn't backing down. Instead, he was about to reveal a vision so compelling, so meticulously thought out, that it would transform ridicule into awe in a matter of minutes. What could possibly turn the tables so dramatically? Elon's eyes lit up with a fierce passion as he began to explain. His words flowed like a river, carrying his audience through a landscape of cutting-edge technology and groundbreaking ideas. He painted a vivid picture of solar panels so efficient they could power an aircraft with ease, and materials so light yet strong they defied conventional engineering limits. "Imagine a world where traffic jams are a thing of the past," Elon said, his hands gesturing animatedly. "Where your daily commute becomes a breathtaking journey above the city skyline." The skeptic, unable to contain himself, interrupted. "It's a pipe dream," he scoffed, but his voice lacked its earlier conviction. "The energy requirements alone make it impossible." Elon didn't miss a beat. He turned to the skeptic, a knowing smile playing on his lips. "Every groundbreaking idea seems impossible until it's done," he said, his voice steady and sure. The words hung in the air, challenging not just the skeptic, but everyone at the table to think beyond their perceived limitations. As Elon continued, the group listened with rapt attention. He delved into the intricacies of artificial intelligence systems that could navigate complex aerial routes with unparalleled precision. He explained how advanced materials could create structures both incredibly strong and astonishingly light. The coffee shop's usual buzz faded into the background as more patrons turned to listen. The air crackled with an almost tangible energy, the kind that accompanies the birth of revolutionary ideas. Even the baristas paused in their work, drawn in by the intensity of the discussion. Tension built as the skeptic's resolve began to waver. His furrowed brow and thoughtful frown betrayed an internal struggle. The impossible was starting to seem possible. The rest of the group exchanged glances, a mix of excitement and disbelief written across their faces. As Elon's explanation reached its crescendo, a hush fell over the entire coffee shop. It was as if everyone present understood they were witnessing something extraordinary, the birth of an idea that could reshape the very fabric of urban life. In that moment, the world outside ceased to exist. There was only this table, this group, and the electrifying vision of a future where the sky was no longer the limit, but the gateway to a new era of transportation. Just as Elon's vision of flying taxis hung in the air, a whisper threatened to change everything. Who would have thought that 4 simple words, "That's Elon Musk," could turn a skeptic's world upside down in an instant? It started with a woman at a nearby table. Her eyes widened as recognition dawned, and she leaned over to her friend. "Oh my God," she whispered, her voice barely audible. "That's Elon Musk." The words seemed to take on a life of their own, rippling through the coffee shop like a pebble dropped in a still pond. Heads turned. Conversations stopped mid-sentence. The usual hum of the cafe gave way to a growing murmur of excitement and disbelief. Phones appeared in hands, ready to capture this unexpected moment. Back at the table, the skeptic was in the middle of another rebuttal when he noticed the change in atmosphere. He trailed off, confusion evident on his face. Then, as if struck by lightning, he froze. The color drained from his cheeks, leaving him pale as a sheet. His eyes darted between Elon and the rest of the group, searching for confirmation of what he desperately hoped wasn't true. But there was no denying it. The man he'd been arguing with, whose ideas he'd dismissed as ridiculous sci-fi, was none other than Elon Musk himself. The realization hit him like a physical blow. He'd been mocking one of the world's leading innovators to his face. The man behind Tesla, SpaceX, and countless other revolutionary projects had been sitting right across from him, patiently explaining his vision. The group's dynamic shifted dramatically. Awe replaced skepticism. The young student who had been quietly listening now leaned forward, eyes shining with admiration. Even those who had chuckled nervously at Elon's initial suggestion now hung on his every word. I'm so sorry," the skeptic stammered, his face burning with embarrassment. "I had no idea. I didn't mean to." His words tumbled out, a jumbled mess of apology and explanation. Elon's reaction surprised everyone. Instead of taking offense or gloating, he laughed. It was a warm, genuine sound that immediately put everyone at ease. "No need to apologize," he said, smiling. "Healthy skepticism is crucial in innovation. It's what pushes us to refine our ideas and make them better." From behind the counter, the coffee shop owner watched the scene unfold with amusement. She'd recognized Elon the moment he walked in, but had kept it to herself, curious to see how things would play out. Now, as she saw the transformed atmosphere in her shop, the excitement, the inspiration, the newfound camaraderie, she couldn't help but smile. In that moment, the coffee shop became more than just a place for caffeine and conversation. It became a stage for an unexpected encounter that would leave everyone present with a story they'd tell for years to come. As the revelation of Elon's identity settled over the coffee shop, an unexpected silence fell. The skeptic, still reeling from his earlier dismissal, looked like he wanted to disappear into his chair. But Elon wasn't done surprising everyone. "You know what?" Elon said, leaning towards the skeptic with a glint in his eye. "I'd like you to come to my next innovation showcase." The words hung in the air, heavy with possibility. The group's reaction was a mix of shock and excitement. Mouths gaped open, eyes widened, and a few excited gasps escaped. The skeptic blinked rapidly as if trying to wake himself from a dream. Elon continued, his voice warm and inviting. "You might learn something and maybe even share your own ideas." He paused, letting the offer sink in. After all, the best innovations often come from challenging our assumptions. The transformation on the skeptic's face was remarkable. The dismissive frown had given way to a look of wonder, his eyes bright with newfound inspiration. It was as if a door had opened in his mind, revealing a world of possibilities he'd never considered before. As word of Elon's presence spread, other patrons began to approach the table. They moved cautiously, drawn by the magnetic pull of the encounter, but hesitant to intrude. Elon acknowledged them with gracious nods and smiles, but kept his focus on the group at the table. A young student who had been quietly observing the entire exchange now leaned forward, her face a picture of awe. She watched Elon intently, soaking in every word, every gesture. It was clear that this moment was shaping her understanding of what it meant to be a true innovator. The coffee shop owner, still behind the counter, marveled at the scene unfolding in her establishment. Regular customers mixed with newcomers, all united by the electric atmosphere of possibility that now filled the air. As Elon prepared to leave, he stood up and addressed the entire group, one last time. "Remember," he said, his voice carrying easily through the now hushed cafe, "every great idea starts with a simple question. What if?" With those words, he made his way to the door, leaving behind a wake of inspired minds and racing hearts. The skeptic sat still, clutching the business card Elon had pressed into his hand, a tangible reminder that this extraordinary encounter had been real. As the door closed behind Elon, the coffee shop erupted into excited chatter. People turned to their neighbors, sharing their amazement and discussing the ideas they'd overheard. The air buzzed with energy, alive with the feeling that anything was possible. In that moment, a simple coffee shop had become a crucible of innovation, a place where skepticism had transformed into inspiration. And for everyone present, the world suddenly seemed a little bit bigger, a little bit brighter, and full of untapped potential. Months later, the skeptic stood beside Elon Musk at the innovation showcase, his eyes wide with wonder. The flying taxi prototype hovered silently above the crowd, a testament to the power of imagination and perseverance. As Elon fielded questions from eager reporters, the skeptic marveled at how a chance encounter in a coffee shop had altered the course of his life. The showcase buzzed with energy, ideas bouncing between brilliant minds like electrons. The skeptic, once dismissive, now found himself contributing his own insights. He realized that open-mindedness wasn't just about accepting new ideas, it was about nurturing them, challenging them, and helping them grow. As the event wound down, Elon turned to the skeptic with a knowing smile. "So, what impossible idea will you bring to life next?" he asked. The question lingered in the air, a reminder that innovation often begins with a single, transformative moment. Who will you meet today that might change your world?